Yo, another Fat Man Live, another Sunday. This is gonna be the last Fat Man Live for I think the next one is it's gonna be the end of February, early March because we have Bob Vu's show that we're gonna be at on the 15th and 16th, so that kind of throws everything off. So thank you guys for coming. Okay, I appreciate you guys being here. I also want to say that possibly there may be an episode of my one black friend and my one white friend this Sunday. So before I forget, I just wanted to bring that up. Um, a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of stuff. We have the new season of Storytellers on the Patreon coming up on February 20th. That's when the first episode is going to drop, and then it's going to drop every week after that for the next 9 weeks. We got done with all the recordings for that last week, and we're ready to release it. And that's been the best series or the best performing series on the Patreon so far, Storytellers Season 1. So we brought it back, and we're having a lot of fun with it. We got a new crop of old guys: Mike Stefani, Ken Masick, Ty Park, Amir, fucking Amir from Yellow Belly Balls. If anybody remembers him, we have him on the show. I mean, we have Tom Bernhardt, we have Warren Booth, we have yeah, I don't know. We have nine or 10 people this season. So definitely join the Patreon if you're interested in old school stories before Morph Market, before the internet. We're talking like late 80s, early 90s, Lee Watson reptile swap type of stories when the business looked very different. Okay. So go check that out, patreon.com/the Fat Man Nation if you want to join up. If you want to join up for that, also, you get access to a bunch of exclusive videos. You get access to the celebrity Zoom call, which has been killing it. We had Justin Kabilka on, Bob Vu on. I believe this month we're going to have on either Mike Wilbanks or Ozzy Boyds. So it's definitely going to be fun. It's fun and worth it. You could join for as little as $5 a month, but you could also join for free. And even if you join for free, you have access to the Discord, and you have access to the open Zoom call for Reptile Keepers non-celebrity edition. So there's that. Now, there's also something that we're launching on February 15th called Operation Deeds Not Words. And that's our annual campaign for disabled veterans. We have limited edition Fat Man Nation shirts that we're selling to benefit Camp Freedom in Pennsylvania, where they actually take disabled vets out of a clinical situation, and they take them hunting and fishing and do outdoors things with them. Let them shoot some guns. We're actually going there, and Fat Man's going to be shooting a gun. Okay, shooting a rifle, maybe shooting a machine gun, maybe a rocket launcher if we have it. I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, we're working on that campaign. We're hoping to raise $10,000 by July 4th of 2025, and then we'll be going down to Camp Freedom. We'll be presenting them with a check and everything else. There's also something fairly big that I'm a part of now that involves 90% of the bigger reptile podcasters all working together, doing a little bit of a get together conference type of thing. I'm working with Bash Coder and Robin from Redline on that, and that's also gonna be launched on February 15th at Bob's show, and we're looking forward to doing that too, kind of like an educational thing that's going to happen for for different components like marketing, social media, YouTube, all that, trying to just explain to everybody what we think best practices are. Um, Before we get started, I gotta listen. I gotta break out the sponsors. Okay, listen. If you don't know who Brian Bode is, then get your fucking life together and check out his fucking Instagram because Brian Bode is killing it out in Las Vegas, and he's just a great dude that everybody likes and nobody's ever said anything bad about. If you want a quality ball python, you go over to Brian Bode Reptiles, and especially if you're in that area where you can meet him and pick up the animals, and you don't have to worry about shipping them or anything like that. Las Vegas. So I mean, he every now and then he goes to the Pomona shows, the super shows. So check him out when you get the chance. But he's on Instagram at Brian Bode Reptiles. My boy Stephen Conduit from Conduit Constrictors. He too. I mean, as far as East Coast guys, he's probably one of the nicest guys that you could meet. He actually put $1 million into launching his ball python company. So he's not just working with these these circa 2001 animals. He's definitely working with the most cutting edge animals, and he's killing it right now. He's killing it and still doing the local shows. So if you get a chance, he's going to be at Gettysburg, I believe, and I'm going to be at Gettysburg pushing the disabled veterans charity thing. So I'm going to get to hang out with Steve again and his family, and go check him out. Conduit Constrictors on Instagram. Gray Family Snakes. Now Lori Gray is getting her second shot at being on this show. Okay, and we're hopefully it's going to be a lot better than last time. But they're also going to be at Bob's show, and they're two of the nice people in the hobby. If you're looking for Axanthic Desert Ghost, Axanthic Pides, these are the people to go to. Don't go to anyone else. Okay, Great Family Snakes. Even though there's a stupid underscore in their name, you should go follow them on the old IG. Small Town Exotics is my boy Shane Kelly. If you want a quality ball python, leopard gecko, hognose, he's the man, and he's going to be at Bob's show too on the 15th and 16th. We're actually going to have a 15 minutes of lame section there, so make sure you guys come by, take pictures with all the 15 minutes of lame people. Charlie's going to be there with the belt. Come up to us, say hello. Let's make this one fun. All right. He's Small Town Exotics on Instagram. No E. All right. Just Small Town Exotics. My boy, Will Sanford from Texas. Killing it. He's just killing it in Texas. He dumped a bunch of money in this too. He was in this for a while back in the early 2000s. He stepped away for a little while, and now he's back, and he's just crushing it. And Will's like one of the smartest and nicest guys that I know. If you want anything, like he's in the puzzle project, the paint project, he's really stepping up his game in the whole thing. I love Will to death. He's visionary _ exotics on the old Instagram. Okay. Then we got a spot for rent. If you guys want to advertise on this show, just DM me and let me know. We kind of cap it off at 6, so we won't be taking anybody else after this. So yeah, guys, that's what we're gonna do. Now let's just validate some of you people in the room, because I know that's the only reason that you're here is to hear your name. If you want to throw any kinds of super chats this episode, it will all be going towards getting me and my team to the Southeast Reptile Expo. So I appreciate it. Sammy Vargas, what's up, brother? We're going to be, me and Sammy are going to be hanging out in the near future pretty soon. Aaron Klein from Batter Up Balls. He's going to be a 15 minutes of lane contestant this year. Green Line Morphs, who is doing the Operation Deeds Not Words with me out in Pennsylvania. Him and Charlie Ryan, they're both retired vets. And I want you to go over and give Green Line a follow on Instagram. Sugar Skull Serpents, Kevin, that's my boy. He's helping me out going to Bob Vu's show. First time in a wheelchair at the airport, getting on a plane, trying to figure it out. We're just trying to make shit happen, and I have Kevin to thank for getting me through that. HJS Serpents, they were just on 15 minutes of lame last night. Rich and Sarah, thank you guys for being on. Brian from Sky High. Fucking thank you. Everybody go over and watch Sky High's podcast. It's on once a week too. That's my boy, Brian Bode. I'm telling you, if you don't know him, get your fucking life together and know him now, okay? Because he's a fucking good guy, man. Python Prince, he might be coming down with us to Georgia. He's doing some great reels. Go follow Python Prince. He's also going to be on 15 Minutes of Lane this year. What else we got? We got Bosa Reptiles. Bosa, I hope everything's going better down there, for lack of a better word. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate you being here, man. RNA Ball Pythons, what's up, brother? Thanks for coming. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. Are we done? No, more. I knew it. I knew I was missing Mike Duval. All right. What's up, brother? Morph Avenue. Go follow Mike Duval on Instagram. He's an awesome guy. Fucking Chain Reaction. Danny Cadena. Okay. Love him. Go follow him. Danny, Danny's been a great friend for like 5 or 8 years now. Fucking Crystal from Gecko Diva. What's up, babe? Thanks for coming. She has a show on Sunday mornings, a Gecko show at 9 a.m. So go check her out. It's called Coffee and Cresties, I believe. Gerald, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, man. We'll be back up in Canada in September this year, so I'm looking forward to that too. So, all right. I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking, Chris, enough of your shit. Okay. Bring on the people that matter. And that's all we do is we bring on the people that matter to this show. At least we bring on the women in the hobby that matter. Okay. Look at this. Kathryn Brown.
Hey.
Skinks. What's going on, Kathryn? How are you?
Good. How are you? Just feeding a couple of my lovely monkey tail skinks. These guys are awesome. This one here is Ragnar.
Tell me about them, because they're I love their squished, angry faces. You know,
yeah, you see them?
Yeah, he just looks pissed off. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these guys are really cool. They're a social type of reptile, so they live in families in the wild called a circulus, and everybody in their like little circulus or family, they all help take care of the babies when they're born. And right here is a little baby that was born this past year. It's so cute. Yeah, they're like going up. Yeah, so they're from the Solomon Islands. They are arboreal. They're not like the blue-tongued skinks or anything like that, which I know a lot of people are familiar with. Oh my gosh, he wants to get down. No, you're not going anywhere, buddy. But I just love these guys. Mine are
what's the group number that they live in? Average?
Well, it all depends. I mean, 5, give or take.
Okay.
In this circulus that I have here, because I have 3 different ones at my house right now. So I have, in this one, there's 3. There's a male, female, and the baby. I have another group of 3, which is another male, female, and a baby. And then I have a group of 4, which is, there's like a male and 3 females in that one.
And you were telling me you have like an 8-foot cage.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have 8-foot cages for every group?
Yep. I mean, they need a lot of room because they crawl around a lot. So they're not just, like I said, they're arboreal. So they're like always crawling all over the place. I mean, you don't have to have a cage that big. Like you could probably make a cage like you would do for tree monitors, which is like the one behind me. It's like a 6x4x2. Okay. I mean, that would probably be okay for like a small group of them and their babies, but eventually you would have to remove the babies after a while. It would get too crowded in there, and start like a different circulus with them. That's what I plan on doing with this little baby here, because there's other babies. And so once like the next set of babies is born, then I'll just take out the older babies and put them together to start their little group. Oh, Mike. Hey.
Yeah, Mike is awesome. So they require a lot of space if you want to have many circuli.
Yeah. So like each little group needs a lot of space to, roam around because you don't want them to be, like competing over space or like having problems with the babies or attacking each other or anything like that. I mean, generally they get along pretty well. As long as they have enough room and everything, and you're giving them a lot of food. As you can see, this little one is crazy.
Yeah,
They eat a lot. They kind of remind me of like, you see what Mike just put?
Yeah.
They kind of remind me of like reptile sloths. They just like climb around everywhere and they just eat vegetation all the time.
How is that? That's not a full-grown adult on your shoulder, is it?
This one is almost full grown. He'll get a little bit bigger, and then the females get even bigger than him.
Okay.
Not mostly like fatter, I would say. They look a little bit stockier than the males, but the males have like a much bigger head. They have like a really broad head compared to the males,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Keep it clean, Chris. Keep it clean. All right. Okay. Now, so you have 9 of those right now?
Well, I have 10, and that's just including their babies. So there's 10 now. And then the females are gravid again. So next year I'll have even more. And I'm not sure about the youngest group. So my youngest group is the one that's in like the group of 4. And they're just now hitting like sexual maturity. So I don't know, like it'll be crazy next year if, oh my gosh, I would have 5 females giving birth. And that would be crazy. And then I'll be forced to sell some babies. I don't want to though.
It's all live birth, right?
Yeah, they give live birth, and the babies are huge when they come out.
I was going to ask how big are the babies? Yeah.
Yeah, they're.
I know even on the blue tongues, the babies are still, about that big. That's still pretty big, for to give live birth to. How much do they go for? Like I don't even know a selling point on monkey tail skin.
I don't know. I think I saw some on Morph Market the other day for maybe like $3,000 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know because when I got mine is when they were all starting to come and get imported, like 3-4 years ago, and like the prices were all over the place. So you could get them a lot cheaper back then. The wild caught babies and juveniles. So like some of them I would get for maybe like, I don't know, $300-$400. And some of them were more than that. I don't remember how much my first one cost. Maybe like $500 or $600. I don't know.
Wild caught.
Yeah, wild caught. But I think the captive born babies, like I said, I think I saw somebody selling them for like $3,000 or something.
Right. Okay. Jesus. All right. And you keep more than monkey tail skinks, right? What else do you keep?
Oh man, I got a lot. So most people know me for the tree monitors. So I have a bunch of green tree monitors right now. I do have some Bayek tree monitors, and I have a hybrid tree monitor too. The hybrid is a green tree and the Bayek tree crossed. And I think I don't know how many tree monitors I have. I think like 9 maybe at the moment. I don't know. It's hard to tell because, so people send me tree monitors a lot, like they'll be like, hey, wild caught one, and it'll be like really sickly or something. And they'll be like, hey, I can't get it to turn around. If I send it to you, will you, work your magic and see if you can get it healthy and established? And I'm like, yeah, okay, just send it to me. And so I'm really, really good with the tree monitors. And I have an excellent vet. So like I know I've treated like just about everything, like respiratory infections, fungal infections, parasites, protozoa, metabolic bone disease, like all kinds of stuff in these tree monitors. And then sometimes people will send me tree monitors. Let's say they just want them to have a good home. There's nothing really wrong with them, but they just want them to have a loving home. And I'll take them in because, you know, like I love them. They're like my kids. So like I take them out a lot. I spoil them, let them run around, you know, that kind of thing.
And do you have reptiles in every room of your house right now?
I think so.
Yeah.
So like, cause I also have other stuff too. So I have an ornate Nile monitor and she's super sweet. I also have a spiny monitor, spinulosus, and I have, what else? I got the iguanas. I have a painted turtle. My daughter has a few boa constrictors. We have some geckos. We have like some crested geckos, giant day geckos. Oh, we have the natal horn dragons. Oh yeah, I have tricolor monitors too. I have tricolor monitors. All these monkey tails. Oh, I have a corn snake. Yeah,
Okay.
my friend John gave me this baby corn snake because it was a little hatchling and it wouldn't eat. And the one time I was over visiting and he was like, hey, why don't you take this with you and see if you can get it to eat something? And I did. And so I still have this corn snake. I gave it to my son. Man, what else do I have? Oh, I have a bunch of tokay geckos. I have a bunch of, I breed the tokay morphs. So like the granites, blue granites, albinos, super reds. I know, Mike, I'm sorry. I forgot about the tricolors. I just have so many reptiles. And yes, I do not have any ball pythons.
Yeah, that's so awesome. That's so great. Yeah, it's like
no ball pythons. No.
Do you just have a dislike for the ball pythons, or do you have a dislike for the ball python people?
I mean, please don't hate on me, everyone watching, but I think they're rather boring. Everybody's got ball pythons, you know?
Right.
I like the uncommon stuff, you know, the stuff that people don't really have or work with. For me, I like the challenge of working with something new and like figuring out the species and getting it to thrive, and then, you know, getting it to reproduce and getting those babies to thrive and reach adulthood and they reproduce. Like, that's what I like. I like figuring out the stuff that other people haven't really figured out as much, or, you know, stuff like that.
Well, I think that what I'm noticing in the hobby in general is the people that don't care about selling animals are usually the ones that don't have the ball pythons and have the different things. You know, every ball python person that I know is trying to sell ball pythons. You're not trying to sell monkey tail skinks. You're not trying to sell, you know, tricolor monitors. So I think that's a big difference. And I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just saying that maybe some ball python people should take note of that. You know. Also, you know, I know a lot of people that have gotten out of ball pythons and into monitors. Like, do you know Corey Martin?
The name sounds familiar. Maybe.
Yeah, she got out of ball pythons and is just doing medium-sized monitors now. Okay.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, she doesn't even care about selling them either. She's like, I'll keep them all if I have to. You know, I have no problem with that. So it's that's one thing I noticed from, you know, the different communities. You know, like you're not in a rush to sell a tree monitor if you produce a couple, right? So.
No, because for me, I don't know, it's just for me, you know, like I enjoy doing it. This is my passion. I'm not doing it to make any kind of money. And when I do have to sell animals, like, you know, when they have too many babies or whatever, like my goal is not to make money, you know, per se, like a lot of money or sell them for as much as I could. I just want them to have a good home. So like I'll reach out to like friends and things like, well, actually they reach out to me and like, you know, and I'll, you know, so I'll give them to my friends and things like that, because honestly, like at the end of the day, it's all about the animals for me. Like I want them to have a happy life, go to a forever home, that kind of thing.
What's your day job? Because obviously you have to have one, being that you're keeping all these reptiles. You have to have a way to feed them, right? So
Yeah.
what's your day gig?
Well, I am a banker. I'm a personal banker.
At like Chase or Wells Fargo, like that type of personal banker?
Well, I used to work at Wells Fargo, but right now I work at a PNC.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're pretty cool. I like it there.
I was gonna say, do you like that job, or is it just a
Yeah.
means of feeding your reptiles?
I mean, it's all right. I mean, my dream job would to be just like stay home and take care of my reptiles all day, maybe have like a reptile zoo. But since I can't do that unless I win the lottery, I mean, it might as well be banking. It's pretty easy. There's not much stress and you make pretty good money, I would have to say.
And how long have you been doing that?
Well, this time is just recently because I recently just went to college because I thought, oh well, maybe I'll like to try to teach, because I was in banking before that. and then I had my son, and when he was in preschool, I decided to be a preschool teacher to get a discount on his tuition, and I really liked working with the kids. So I was like, oh, maybe I should be a teacher, So I went to college, got this degree, graduated with honors, and then I'm a banker. Yeah, so I don't know. There just wasn't a high demand for teachers in my area, and I couldn't keep waiting around for a position to open up. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just go back to banking. I mean, I make more money as a banker than I would as a teacher anyway. So, and less stress.
Plus your day ends at 5 o'clock too, as a banker. Sometimes probably 4 or 3, right?
Yeah,
with
just depends on the day.
You'll be taking that job home all night. My sister's a teacher. My mother was a teacher, so I know it's never just, hey, I'm home, I'm done with work. So
yeah, and I actually need that. I need to be able to come home and be done, because all of the animals that I have, and since I rescue reptiles, sometimes I have to give them a lot of special attention. So like I need that time after work to be able to do whatever I need to do here at home with the reptiles, or with my kids or whatever. Like I can't come home and just keep working. That's my life.
Now there's no restrictions on things in Pennsylvania, right?
There's no what?
No, there's no restrictions on things that you could keep.
You just can't have native species.
Right.
But everything else is like fair game. You don't need any permits or anything. So anybody could like go into a reptile expo. You can get a mamba if you want.
Right.
You can get a red spitting cobra.
Yep.
How about a Nile crocodile?
Yeah, you've been to Hamburg before, obviously.
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. I go all the time.
And is Hamburg the closest one to you?
Maybe it is. I don't know. Like all of them are kind of spaced out because I live around the Harrisburg, Hershey area. So there's like Hamburg, and then there's Oaks, Gettysburg. I think Gettysburg is maybe 45 minutes away from me. So I guess that's a little bit closer than the other two.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've never vended a show, obviously, right?
Yeah, no. If I ever have anything that I want to sell, I just ask John if he'll let me put it on his table.
John from Sim Containers?
Yeah. But it's not often, though. It's not often. And he's so nice. I love John. He's like one of my best reptile buddies. He's a great
I would like to get John on the main reptile show, just because I've heard so much about him. But
he's the best. He's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm realizing. Like, I know a lot fewer monitor people than I know ball python people, obviously, but the monitor people are all just so fucking nice, right? Like fucking, you look at Mike, you wouldn't think he would be that nice, right? The dude looks like a miniature Sasquatch, right? Like you wouldn't think that he would be that nice. Mike's one of the nice people that I know, and
he is.
And I can't get enough of Mike. And I would imagine that for him to like all the people that he likes, they have to have something in common with him. Like I can't imagine Mike introducing me to assholes. He just seems like a guy that doesn't put up with any of that and just kind of hangs around the straight shooters.
Yeah,
So,
I love Mike.
How long have you known Mike for?
Oh my God. Well, back in the Monitor Forum days, I think it was like 2 decades ago, like on King Snake and Reptic Zone, and what's that, Cyber Saboteur or something like that. And I don't know, there was like a few of those forums, and it was just all the Monitor people, all the old head Monitor people. We were just all on there together. Yeah, 98. I'm older than I appear. But yeah,
What's up, tradesman? So you and obviously Mike's in Chicago. You're in Pennsylvania. Did you ever meet any of these guys?
Yeah,
like in live action.
Yeah, so a few years ago, our buddy Brian Waterloo started doing Monitor Fest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a bunch of us, monitor keepers. I mean, we've all known each other online for years. And so he started the Monitor Fest. And so, and he's such a great host, Brian Waterloo. And he'll have us come out there and we just all hang out and have a good time. And that's when I met Mike in person the first time, because he's kind of far. And also Brian too. And everybody out that way, Yeah, Monitor Fest 2025. I will be there. Be there or be square.
These, is it going to be in Chicago again or in Wisconsin or wherever the fuck it is out there?
Yeah, it'll be in Illinois again. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is it normally at Waterloo's place?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. And he has it's so cool. When you go to his place, he's got like this building and it's like full of these like huge cages that he built for like the lace monitors. And he's got like this ornate owl monitor that I gave him a while back because I had an extra female. I didn't need another one. And he's got a bunch of stuff. But I mean, these cages, they're huge and they're so beautiful. I mean, he's got like huge trees that he cut down and put in there. And he's got the rock walls. I mean, it's just really cool. It's really cool for like anybody to go see how he does it with the monitors. It's really nice.
And have you ever been to like Tinley or Daytona?
I like Daytona. Daytona. So I have family that lives close by. They live in Ormond Beach. Mm-hmm. So I try to go to the Daytona Expo and I'll stay with my family and, I'll get to hang out with all my reptile friends. Mm-hmm. I'll go herping. Oh my God, I love herping. And Florida has so much invasive stuff. It's freaking awesome.
Oh, you're one of those people, huh? You like herping?
Oh, hell yeah. One of my favorite things to do. Let's go to the woods. Let's catch stuff,
I always just found herping funny because it's like you're basically just hunting down an animal that's probably been sitting in its own favorite hiding spot waiting for a meal to walk by for 3 weeks. And then some monkey just picks up this fucking animal for an Instagram picture and then just fucking puts it back down. And now that animal is starving for another 2.5 weeks, till he's lucky enough that something else just wanders into its path. So that's and look, I've never been herping. Okay. What? I've never been a herping guy. Yeah. I'm just not that dude. But I don't want to pick up a rock to see a snake that I never saw before. I'll go to a show and I'll like that snake the same. as if if I never saw it that I could find under a rock. Yeah, I don't know, man. It just seems like a lot of work. Just seems like because
it is sometimes.
I've
Oh my
seen
gosh.
so many videos of people going out there spending 7 hours in the desert, and they come back on camera and they're like, "Yeah, we didn't find one thing,"
Oh, I always find stuff. I'm really good at finding things.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you normally go herping, especially in Pennsylvania?
Well, in Pennsylvania, like I'll go on the Appalachian Trail. Mm-hmm. There's like a few spots near my house that I'll go on. So usually just find, different types of snakes, turtles, frogs, salamanders, toads, all that kind of stuff. But really, I'll catch anything that I see out there. I'll even catch like fish or whatever. Like I don't know. I just like catching stuff. It's fun. It's like a challenge to see if I can like sneak up on it, and just catch it. I don't know. It's like an adrenaline rush, especially when it's something that's like hard to catch,
Right. No, I get it. Now, Reptile Whisperer, where did you get that name from?
Well, a long time ago when I lived in Colorado Springs, I used to work for this reptile rescue out there, but there was like also this like big reptile community, and there were a couple of local reptile only pet stores. They were called Scales and Tails, and I think they're still out there.
I think they still are. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was cool because like, everybody would go there and just hang out. And so I got to talk, I made friends with the people that worked there. And so like I would tell them like, hey, like I'm really good with reptiles. I can tame anything. And of course, they didn't believe me at first. And they were like, no way, no, you can't, stick your hand in with this, black roughneck monitor. It'll like chew the heck out of you and bite you and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, watch me,
Right.
And so like, I'd show them how I do things. And like, my approach to these animals, I don't just go in and grab anything, like I'm really good at reading their behavior. So like, I'll look at their body language. I'll look at their pupils to see if they're like really dilated or not, like all these things. And so like, I'll move really slow and approach them really slow in a non-threatening way. And eventually it'll get to the point where they'll let me pick them up. I can pick them up, I can hold them, and, they won't try to bite me or anything like that. They can see that I'm not a threat. So then it just became a thing then. Like every time I was going in there, they were like, oh, go tame this snake, or, stick your hand in there with the tokay geckos or whatever. And like, they were always amazed because like, I would never get bit by anything, I would just take my time, and they'd be like, I don't know how you do that, but I'm just really good with reptiles, probably because I grew up around reptiles, just catching them outside in my backyard. So I just kind of learned, I don't know, how to be with them,
Right. Yeah, I remember there was a guy named Harlan Wall out there in Colorado when I lived there, and he was just one of these weird dudes too, where he's like, yeah, what's up? You got all these snakes and lizards. He's like, I'm going to bring a couple over to the house. And I was like, cool, that would be awesome, man. I'd love to see him, right? And he like he brought over like a rhino viper, right? And then he brought over like a green mamba, and like all this shit that could kill you. And I was just like, as soon as he put the last one back in the case, I was like, all right, now get the fuck out of my house now. We're done. All right. Well, you think you could just come over the house and bring fucking life-threatening animals over my house? But he was one of the only reptile people that I met in Colorado. Being in LA, I met a ton of reptile people. And then being back in New York, of course, I know a bunch of them. But you moved to Pennsylvania how long ago?
Well, I've moved back and forth over the years. I think this time it's been 11, maybe 12 years I've been here now. Something like that.
You were in military prior, right?
Yeah, so right out of high school, I joined the Army, and then I was just in a bunch of different places like Louisiana and Colorado, Virginia, Ohio. um, just doing my thing. And then eventually, like I got divorced, and then I came back here because my other side of the family is here. So one side of my family lives in Florida, and then the other side lives here. I do have some in New Jersey too.
Okay. And you like Pennsylvania more than you like Florida?
No,
I would
no. I mean, okay. I will have to say I do like the laws here regarding reptiles a lot because you have a lot of freedom. I can keep, whatever I want. Not that I'm going to keep any hots or anything like that, but like I don't have to worry about anything, whatever I want to own. I could just have it as a pet. But in Florida, there's so many restrictions now.
Yeah.
Like you can't have iguanas, you can't have Nile monitors, you can't have certain snakes. I think it's like retics. You can't have, and I mean, I don't even know all the laws, but I know it's a lot of stuff you can't have over there anymore. I don't think you can have tegus either, right?
No,
invasive now too.
It's also dumb rules. Like if you touch a chameleon, you have to take it home. If you touch an iguana, you have to kill it. Like it's just like why? It just seems like an ass backward state for a lot of things, right? A lot of things I agree with down there, but the animal rules are a little bit too much, as far as that goes.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary if you like having reptiles as pets. It's kind of scary to live in Florida because you don't really know what they're going to ban next.
Next, yeah,
what's the next animal, and then how's that going to go? Because like I want to move back to Florida. That's where I was born, and I loved being there and seeing lizards running around all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's awesome, but at the same time, I'm like really scared because I'm not giving up any of my pets. Know? That's right. Iguana lives do matter.
Yeah. It's it's rough down there, but also you got to contend with the winters are shit here in New York and Pennsylvania, right?
Oh yeah. So I hate it. I hate the cold.
Right. It's pretty bad. I like the cold, but I don't like, -3 cold. I like, 40 cold. Okay. Once it gets below 40, I'm like, all right, this is a little much. But Florida, man, whenever I go to Daytona and I step outside that airport, I mean, man, it is like being kicked in the balls with heat. Like it's you can't even breathe.
I love it. I love it. Oh my, the humidity and the heat. Yeah. Oh, it's so great. I love it. I love it.
So now, what would a 5-year plan be for you now? Are you just going to grow the collection? Like, when is there a chance that you could be maxed out? Because you have a lot of shit right now,
Yeah.
And are you maxed out now, would you say? Or can you get another 100 in there?
No, I definitely can't get another 100 in here. It's kind of, it's at the point now. I have a lot of, because I keep reptiles forever. I'm not really the kind of person that, you'll have reptile keepers that will keep reptiles for a couple years and then they'll sell them or trade them or do whatever. I don't really do that. When I have reptiles, I just keep them until they die,
Right.
So right now I have a lot of old reptiles. Like my oldest one is 25 years old. So it's kind of like, well, when some of the senior citizens, cross the Rainbow Bridge, then I'll have, some more space that I can bring in something else, or maybe I'll just keep more babies of, what I already have, because my plan is I am going to stop soon. Actually, I'm going to, I used to keep a bunch of different types of tree monitors, not just the green trees. I used to have blues and the blacks and the yellows and the Biax. The only one I didn't have is the golden spotted.
The blues are having some trouble now, right?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, they are. It's ridiculous actually what's happening. For those of you that don't know, they're on this temporary listing, the Endangered Species Act, and it really doesn't do anything to stop them from being caught in the wild and then, shipped to other countries as pets. The only thing it does is affect the United States. So they can't, come into the United States and be sold wild caught, and which is fine. But what it affects is the people that are here that are already breeding them in captivity. Because of the listing, they can't sell state to state. They can't cross state lines. You can only sell blue tree monitors to someone who's in the same state as you, right? And if you want to have it cross state lines and be with somebody else, you have to gift them. You have to give them away, and you can't get anything in return. So like, and it's not just money either, like anything. Like you can't give them something else or trade or anything. I mean, it literally just has to be a gift.
Right.
So, I mean, and that sucks because, people over here are doing really great with blue tree monitors. They're breeding them, and that sucks for them that they can't sell them anymore. It just sounds like the U.S. wants to just kill that. It's so sad. It's such a shame, really.
And does that same law affect the yellows or the greens or any other ones?
Well, it's probably going to in the near future.
Right, because
Like
there'll be a trickle down, right? But
oh yeah, for sure.
For
Yeah,
right
so,
now,
yeah, so that's what I'm getting into now when you asked if I'm going to get more reptiles. So since I used to keep all of them in the past, I always thought, oh, I'll have time to get them all again. And the only reason I don't is because I have, all these other tree monitors, like I have my own, they have their babies. I keep, the babies, but then, people give them to me and stuff, or sometimes people will give them to me, wanting me to breed them for them, or, whatever, however it works out. So I have all these tree monitors, and I thought, oh, I'll have time to get the other species again. Well, no, I don't.
right.
So that's my plan, is I'm going to start getting, all of them again, like I had before. And I want to get enough of them so that I never have to buy another tree monitor again for the rest of my life. So I'm going to have like a couple different bloodlines, and I'll just keep breeding myself more pets to last me until I'm dead.
Right.
That's the plan.
And kind of like buying before it becomes illegal. So you're stocking up on tree monitors.
Yes.
Okay. And do you have any blues right now?
No, I don't. But I'm might be working on that. We'll see.
Might be getting gifted one.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe. We'll see what happens in the future.
Right. And so you never plan on vending shows or anything like that, right? You just are gonna do your thing.
Oh yeah, like I always
from your
did.
house,
Yep.
Okay. So you're not going into this with any intent in making any money at all.
No. Whatever I breed, if I can't keep it at home, I'm gonna give them away to my trusted friends, and y'all know who you are.
Well, yeah, because I was saying like it's prior to me going through Mike Stefani and Jin, I didn't really know who you are. And then I find out that you've been around for 25 years or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, yeah, the monitor community is definitely different than the ball python community. It seems outwardly like there's a lot less drama in there, but as soon as I talk to monitor people, there's drama going on all the time there too. You guys just tend to keep it a little bit more quiet than the ball python people. Like if there's drama in the monitor community, I don't hear rumblings about it on Facebook. Is it that way, or is it?
Well, kind of. I mean, yeah, the drama is more behind the scenes. And I will say that, like, people will tell me stuff and it just ends with me because I don't like drama, and I just don't want to be part of any of that. We try to keep it classy,
Well, it's so funny that you try to keep it classy, and there's guys like Mike involved. That's I mean, how is that even possible? So what's an aspiration? What is one thing that you want to keep that you haven't kept before?
Nothing. The last one was the tricolor monitors, but I have those now. So I guess my next big goal, and the reason I wanted them is because I want to breed them in captivity.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody's done it yet,
Right.
I mean, so I want to try and see if I can do it. I like a good challenge. I know there's a few other people trying to do the same thing right now with their tricolors, and we'll see what happens. Let's have a healthy race. Let's have a healthy race, guys.
Did you ever see yourself getting a ball python or a bearded
No.
dragon, just some normal lizard?
No,
Not,
I mean, the only time I had bearded dragons, well, I had one once for my son when he was like 4 years old, because they're good for kids. And then when I was working for the reptile rescue, then I got, the common stuff like that, like the ball pythons and the bearded dragons and, that kind of thing, because they're really neglected. There's so many out there. There's too many animals out there for them to all go to good homes. So where do they end up? They either end up dead or at a rescue or rehomed to somebody else. And I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff, heartbreaking stuff,
Well, and you do a rescue, but if somebody came to you with a ball python, would you take it in, or would you just say, move on to the next rescue? Thank you.
I would take it in. I love them all. I love them all. I mean, I wouldn't keep it forever, but I would get it healthy and then I would find it a good home.
Right. Okay. Well, and what do you want people to know most of all about you and the Reptile Whisperer and your take on the hobby? Because there's going to be a lot of people watching you now who've never seen you before. What do you want to tell all these people? If you had two things that you could tell them and just make sure that it got across and got into their head, what would you tell them?
I would say reptiles are living things. They are not objects or property. They matter. Their lives matter. They are sentient beings. They do have feelings. They have the ability to bond with their owners, and you can have a great, pet owner relationship with them and be friends with them. A lot of people, they don't really know that about reptiles. They think like, oh, we'll just stick them in a cage. Or a lot of people will be like hands off. And personally, I could never be like that. I think it's kind of sad to just, keep a reptile inside of a box for its whole life, and not work with it. Because when you don't work with it, they don't trust you, which means they're afraid of you. And what kind of way is that to live, right? You would want to build a trust relationship with that animal. You want them to be happy. It's totally not their choice to be with you. We are making that choice. We're basically forcing them to live with us. So why not give them the best life that you can possibly give them? You know what I mean?
Well, not only that, if they're terrified all the time and they won't do except handling or any kind of enrichment, what does that really, what does that do for you as the owner? You have an animal that's totally terrified of you all the time. The animal's not acting like it would act if it was comfortable in the situation, and that would probably lead to a shitty experience for the owner too, making him not want to get another reptile. And these are all the things that you got to look at when people are like, oh, we got to grow the hobby. We got to grow, you got to grow the hobby, but you have to you have to do it in the right way. And I think some of these things are just overlooked, all the time. The amount of things I see that are overlooked all the time are like, yeah, if your animal is terrified of you, you're not going to want to get another one of that animal once it dies,
Yeah.
So, if anything, you're hurting the hobby more by not doing all this enrichment stuff. And listen, I'm not saying every ball python should have a 4-foot cage. Okay. I'm totally not saying that. But I am saying that a little bit of space never really killed anybody. I mean, look at you. You're keeping 3 monkey-tailed skinks in an 8-foot enclosure, 8 by 8 foot enclosure. So it's it's just a weird thing. I think everybody just has to do better, really. Like at the end of the day, right? Just everybody, yeah, and even the best guy could probably learn how to do things a little bit better. But anyway, Kathryn, where could people get in touch with you?
Well,
or do you not want them to get in touch with you?
Well, actually, a lot of people get in touch with me all the time. Usually it's with either something like reptile rescue related, like, if your reptile's having problems or they're sick and they just want to know, if I can help them or whatever, or guide them in the right direction. You can contact me. Or if you have questions about tree monitors or monkey tail skinks or tokay geckos, that's a lot of people know me for those. But really anything, because I've had all different kinds of species, cared for them at one point or another. And like I said, I used to work for reptile rescue, so I've had all kinds of stuff, all kinds of stuff.
I think this funny. This kind of what shows the difference between you and other, the more modern reptile keeper. You didn't throw out your Instagram once. You weren't like, check me out on whatever, KathrynBrown.com. You didn't do any of that. You just said, get in touch with me. So what would be your Instagram where people could get in touch with you, or YouTube?
Right. So everything is called the Reptile Whisperer. So my YouTube and the Instagram and Facebook, and I have TikTok also. And I'll just put like little videos up of my animals, just little day-to-day stuff, nothing fancy, just me eating something.
Yeah, we were talking about that prior to it.
Yeah,
you do a lot of editing on your videos, right? You just slap it up there.
Yep. I just take videos on my phone. I'm like, hey, I'm in the moment. Oh, look at this cool interaction we're having. Here you go.
Oh. All right. Well, everybody go follow Kathryn on the Reptile Whisperer on Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok. I think TikTok's going to be around for a while now, so you don't really have any worries about that going anywhere. Kathryn, thank you for doing this and being here. I appreciate you. And you're running the show the next couple of weeks on the Monitor Talk, on the Trap Talk.
All
network,
Monitor
right?
Talk. Yep.
How long are you going to be doing that?
I think it's just 3 different times. So I think it's like 2 times this month and then once in March, I think, just until Jen gets better. She was having some medical issues, but so it's only temporary.
Right. And what time, what day and time does that come on? I think it comes on every 2 weeks, right?
Saturdays at noon. Saturdays at noon. Eastern Standard Time, noon. Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. Well, go watch Kathryn. Go show some support. Kathryn, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to throw you backstage and just close everything out. Just hang out for like 5 more minutes, okay?
Yep. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Kathryn Brown, the Reptile Whisperer, everybody. Let's see. Go follow her on Instagram. All right. That was fun. You always get to learn more shit here. This show is really kind of moved on and transformed to a hot girl show, to a show where I'm actually learning things every 2 weeks. And I don't really know if I like it. Okay. Just going to say that right now. But, we still got the hot girls on, and now they teach us something too. So anyway, I will see everybody at the Southeast Reptile Expo in 2 weeks. And we are finishing up the planning for that now. And we're getting in there on Friday. We're leaving on Monday, and we're launching the Operation Deeds Not Words for the campaign this year for disabled veterans. Okay, we want to raise at least $10,000. So please, everybody, buy a shirt. If you see us at any of these shows, we actually have a bunch of affiliates that are going to be at different shows throughout the country selling shirts as well. Do me a favor, stop by, buy a shirt. We're not even going to have the shirts there. We're going to have you scan a QR code. You can just buy a shirt straight through your phone, and it will get shipped directly to your door. Once it gets to your door, take a picture of yourself in it and tag us. Make sure we bring as much awareness for disabled vets as we can this year. And again, we're going to also announce that that podcaster marketing YouTube analytical thing on March 15th also with Bash Coder and Redline. So I'm looking forward to doing that too. We got a lot of cool shit coming up in the next 6 months, I would say. We're going back to Canada in September. I'm probably going to be at Ty Park's place for the IHS symposium that's going on in Iguanaland in June. So I'm going to be talking to Ty the weekend of the Bob show about it. And so come out, see me there. Take a picture with your favorite crippled top hat wearing fat guy. All right, guys, we might be back Sunday with my one black friend. If not, we're definitely going to do an open Zoom call for reptile keepers prior to the Bob Vu show. So I will see you guys on one of these goddamn things sometime within the next 2 weeks. Take it easy, everybody, and thanks for coming tonight. Bye-bye.